themselves. Here's Everspace 2.
Unreal Engine. Yeah, I apologize for not having my face on this if you're watching this on YouTube. Well, I could upload that, but the problem is it's very laggy. Like, it's like 0 frames per second, so it'll freeze on the frame for like 30 seconds. I could, no. Yeah, in fact, one reason I'm not ending the stream is because it's just easier to keep going like this. I know, I only have like one viewer, which is probably, I'm probably the one viewer because I have the chat open on my phone. That's alright. We'll make up for it later. Actually, I was streaming, I think, yesterday before work, and I had like 11 views at one point during that stream. That's pretty cool. I might make a separate video to this, but I'm not really sure yet. Closed alpha starting on Steam June 15th. I don't know, I might just upload this, edit it, and I don't really think I have a lot of editing to do, but I'll need to render it though. Public service announcement? What is this? Wow.
PC gamers, I'm sure you'll agree. If a horse shows up at your door and you don't remember ordering a horse, it's probably best to keep the door shut. One of the coolest things about a Total War Saga Troy, the next game from Creative Assembly, is that it will enable players to experience multiple different versions of how the iconic battle went down, including several explanations for what that mythical horse actually was.
Uh-oh.
I'll get the door while you watch the latest trailer.
Alright.
Peggy 16.
Peggy 16. We're not doing the ESRB. Oh, it's a Sega. It's a Sega game.
There is only one response to Queen Helen's abduction, and that is
Is this Total War or
In
whatever it's
Total War
called?
Saga Troy, you can
Yeah, I think it
rewrite
was-
the events of one of the
he just said
greatest
Total War, didn't he?
conflicts ever
Total War
told,
Saga?
the Trojan
Okay.
War. As Odysseus besieged
I think I
the
have
legendary
the Total War
city
game
of
I got for
Troy
free
in
on Steam.
three ingenious and
No, Sega
equally
just
devastating
gave it to me.
ways, all
They were giving
based
out
around
random
prominent
games.
theories from throughout
And
the
I was
ages
one of the
as to what the
fortunate people to get
iconic
it.
Trojan horse really resembled.
the walls of this city may
it was-
appear to be mighty,
Just haven't played it yet.
but
There's
no
a bunch of Steam games I
defenses
haven't
are
played yet.
impregnable.
Probably about 30 or
Using
40% of the games
gargantuan
on
siege
Steam I've never
towers,
played.
take the fight to the walls.
Well, 30%. I think that's actually the average percentage too for Steam players.
Slaughter the Trojans atop and force them back into their
I still need to play The
pits.
Witcher 3. Whoa, shit. Leave it there for now.
The enemy are unaware of your presence. Position your troops to retain your advantage once the attack begins.
Sneak troops into the city in a vast, horse-headed vessel fit for the gods.
So it should be
Under the cloak
over in
of
about 25
darkness,
minutes.
use guerrilla tactics to sabotage the unbreachable city gates, leaving the Trojan warriors defenseless, allowing the Achaean soldiers to begin razing the city to the ground.
Their walls have been breached.
Even the greatest defenses cannot stand against nature's might. In a land ravaged by earthquakes, patience is rewarded. Send your troops forward. Troy is yours for the taking. Myth meets history in a war that will define the ages. Experience the legend of Troy this summer.
Victory
But our hands
will
aren't
make
too
you
bad.
immortal.
You know, it doesn't hurt to put some on. I don't put as
That
much
was
on in the
Total
spring
War
or
Saga
summer.
Troy, which we'll get to play in
That's
2021.
the first day of summer.
And hey,
Be
speaking of
next week?
sneaking in big surprises,
Following week, I can't
a
remember.
master of segue. This year, we've teamed up with Intel
think it'd be
to build
next
a
Saturday or
legendary
Sunday.
custom computer inspired by art, weaponry,
Right,
and the
last one's
artifacts
part two comes
found
out.
in the game. DevBot. I understand you know your way around a computer, right?
Affirmative. Sean, I have a soft spot for Bronze Age computers.
Well, great. Why don't you tell
You
our
are a
audience a
computer.
little bit
Of course you're
more?
gonna know.
Can do, Sean. Behold, PC gamers.
This build is centered around Intel's CPU, the 10th gen
Oh, the-
Intel Core i9-10900.
I still need to do a test run.
This 10-core
Or,
flagship
well,
CPU is built for
whatever the
maximum
term I'm thinking of
performance
is that I can't think
and
of.
overclocking, especially
Make sure my
useful
computer can
in
handle
epic strategy games like
the next
Total War
RTX I'm planning on
Saga
getting.
Troy.
Hopefully soon. I've been saying that
Also
for a couple
features
months.
a top-of-the-line
I said that 2 months ago,
GeForce
and I still don't
RTX
have it.
2080 Ti. Also on the Asus
Also expensive.
motherboard are a spacious 4 terabytes of fast storage and 128 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM.
Alright.
The unit is powered by a platinum-certified Corsair 1200-watt power supply, and temperatures are kept at a nominal level thanks to 9 RGB fans running alongside liquid cooling. The copper tubing is not only effective at heat conduction, but
I thought about getting a
high
liquid
ratings,
cooling computer, but the
aesthetic,
problem
and
is
cleaning. Is this what
if there's a
you
leak,
call
it's
love?
a leak is rare, but if there is a
PCs
leak,
are more than
you got some-
specs.
you're
They're
in
a
big trouble
passion.
then.
When we build a
Or you might be
PC,
in big
we
trouble.
form a relationship with that piece of hardware. We wanted to show you every step of that process. For this build, we enlisted a master craftsman, Brian Carter, a PC modder with over a decade and a half of experience.
Stumbles
PC Gamer
through
Intel
Amiibo
created
collection?
A 4-part series.
I don't
Brian
want-
as he created
know what
this
you
epic
mean.
artifact. DevBot, cue it
that's
up.
Amiibo is Nintendo.
Hey, my name is
I
Brian
don't know why
Carter,
they're talking
and I've been building
Oh,
custom
the
PC
action
mods for
figures,
over
that's why,
16
probably.
years. I'm working with
That's probably what
Intel
they're
and a
referring
Total
to.
War Saga Troy
I
on
don't
a
have
very
too many
special
game
custom
figures.
PC project that we're thrilled to debut at the PC Gaming Show. Join me in a 4-part video series as I take you through each stage of the scratch build process. We begin with the inspiration and design phase, where we figure
cool.
out how to take the amazing design assets from a Total War Saga Troy and functionalize them to house our best-in-class components, like the 10th gen Intel Core i9-10900K processor. Then I'll show you how I assemble, finish, and test this one-of-a-kind PC. A big thank you to Intel and Creative Assembly for letting me work on this incredibly fun and challenging project. I hope you like it.
Oh, it looks
good.
so good. And I have some good
But I
news.
wouldn't be able to do something
Episode
like
1
that.
is available now,
not an
and I have
architect.
even better news. You can win this PC from DevBot's loving clutches. Head on over to pcgamer.com/IntelPC
First
to
person.
learn more and enter for a chance to win. And with that, it's time to return to more PC Gaming Show action with the fantastic Frankie.
Last year,
hell?
Remnant
Oh,
from the
here.
Ashes challenged gamers to take on monstrous creatures in a post-apocalyptic world. Today, we're excited to announce the biggest update yet for the game.
Click here to
Upcoming
get
DLC
started?
that will
Alright.
conclude this thrilling saga. The fate of humankind is at stake. It's time to bring an end to the root once and for all. This is the world reveal of Remnant from the Ashes, Subject 2923, available August 20th on PC, Xbox One, and PS4.
Alright. Arnie and Paul
They
into I
say
think.
hope is what makes us human. Hope also let us think we'd won. But the root have another gate somewhere. Another hole we have to plug.
Okay, sorry guys.
Sinking civilization. Maybe the root's not the only thing we need to worry about.
There we go.
The new Remnant from the Ashes content looks fantastic. And you know what else is fantastic? Hearing the opinions of strangers from the internet. Nothing makes my day as much as hearing what's inside your mind. So please use hashtag PC Gaming Show on whatever your platform of preference may be, and you just might have your comment show up live on the show. Now for our next title, we have to look at classic remasters. Capcom has been updating the original Resident Evil games, and in the same vein, 2K is now updating Mafia. The original Mafia trilogy is getting a full definitive edition remaster, with the original game, the 2002 Mafia, getting a full ground-up remake with
it's a remake.
4K
That's what I thought
support.
it was.
We got a brand new trailer for you. So let's take a look at Lost Heaven 2 decades later.
Hey, Tommy. Detective Norman. How long you been in town? 3 years. They handed you the Morello case. Right out of the gate.
That's what the paper says, ain't it? And what's it to you?
Case must be getting pretty cold by now.
Or you got something might warm it up?
Yeah. I might have
I
something.
like this show. It's not like the best show of all time, but it is a good show. Yeah, that's what it sounded like. It wasn't a remake, built from the ground up. Mafia 2 and 3 are those are just remasters.
Thomas. Thomas Angelo, sir.
Alright, I'm definitely getting that. I already pre-ordered it, so. Why are they calling it Definitive Edition, though, if it's a remake? That's what I don't get. I mean, yeah, I get it's coming with the
Man,
trilogy,
Devbot, after a beautiful trailer like that, I
it's
gotta know,
if it's a
do you have any
remake, why are they
contacts in the Mafia?
considering it?
Sean,
It's like, oh, here's a remaster, but it's actually a remake.
I'm programmed not to form relationships with organized crime. However, I can call one of the developers of Mafia Definitive Edition.
Well, fantastic. Let's ring him up, Devbot. Joining me to talk about Mafia is the president and CCO of Hangar 13. It is Hayden Blackman. Hayden, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
So for people who haven't played the original Mafia, which is a 2002 release, talk to us about this game.
Mafia, the Definitive Edition, is a complete ground-up remake of Mafia
Why are they calling it
2002, which is
a remaster
seminal
then?
game
See,
that
look at
really
the bottom,
launched the Mafia franchise.
down here.
And in Mafia, you take on the role of Tommy Angelo, who is a cab driver that falls in with the mob during the 1930s, actually during the height of Prohibition, in a city called Lost Heaven, which is loosely based on Chicago. And as a member of the Salieri crime family, he really gets embroiled in a war with the Morello crime family, and we kind of explore that story and Tommy's evolution from cab driver to respected member of the Mafia.
I feel like in the last 10 years we've seen HD editions, remasters that are more graphical updates, but my understanding is that this is far more than just a new coat of paint on a game from 2002. Talk to me about what a remake means.
Everything was rebuilt, so every asset,
call it a remake.
Every cinematic was reshot.
Don't say remastered.
All the gameplay was completely redone. Now we've kept all the same big beats from the original game. The story is the same for the most part. All the big plot points are there. All the missions are there and represented. But again, everything was completely rebuilt from the ground up, in order to kind of meet the expectations of today's.
That's like saying Metal Gear Solid
advantage of
Twin
today's
Snakes on
technology.
GameCube is not a remake of
The location
just one on PlayStation.
Pretty much every open world game is a central character. In 2002, we have seen a ton of gameplay changes between then and now, 2020. Can you
Compare
talk a
that
little bit
to,
about
say,
some of the ways you've updated
Assassin's
the
Creed
open
3
world setting and maybe some of the new mechanics that players can expect?
Yeah, that's
So
not
we
a
do that
remake.
a
That's
number of
just a
different
remaster.
ways. You know, one, we looked at how popular it can be.
I know
and
it's
we
kind of
took some
debatable with that, but
kind
you
of,
know.
world interactions and some of the things that we did with, crowds and non-player characters and other kind of city
Liberation
lives
was
from
remastered
Mafia 3
twice,
and
I guess.
Put them into Mafia the Definitive Edition. But we also looked at, are there ways for us to kind of redesign the city so it's more fun to drive around? Do we need to widen the streets? Do we need to make sure that there's not as many 90-degree turns so that you can kind of coast around corners? And as we capture the feel of the vehicles, are there things that we want to do to make sure that the roads have grip or they're slick in the rain? And so That I think brought a lot of life to it as well, because most of the way that you engage with the city is through driving.
I mean, speaking of rebuilding things from the ground up, I gotta ask you about the cinematics. I mean, they looked gorgeous in the trailer. Yeah. And I mean, what was the process of rebuilding all of those cinematics?
For us, it was really, how do we recreate these, again, taking advantage of some of the cutting edge stuff that we've been doing at Hangar 13. So, we have, really great facial scanning and likeness capture technology, a state-of-the-art mocap facility. So we really wanted to take advantage of that for, the definitive edition. So we did go in and rewrote all the cinematics. Again, to add some of that language and add some of that character development and maybe some of that clarity that we were going for without losing the essence of each moment.
Well, now it's time for my favorite question.
That person?
When can we play Mafia Definitive
August, wasn't it? 19th
and where can people go right now to learn more?
Sure. So we are looking at an August 28th launch date.
Oh, 28th.
And we still, have a ways to go, and we're working on that kind of final polish push right now.
Maybe because The Last of Us Part 2 comes out this month on the 19th.
If you want more information, you can go to mafiagame.com.
After seeing the trailer, I personally am hyped, Hayden. Thank you so much for joining us at this year's PC Gaming Show. Once again, mafiagame.com. For our next title, it's time to head on over to Frankie.
Sean, next up, it's one of those games that looks so pretty, we just had to show it to you. Ever wondered what Slay the Spire might be like with Tim Burton at the helm? Well, Rogue Lords could be the answer. It's being jointly developed by Cyanide and Leica Studio and sees you building a team from storybook psychos like Dracula, Bloody Mary, and Baron Samedi. Makes all the more sense when you realize you're being employed by the devil himself, a job that has my name written all over it. The game is out this October, and we've got a brand new gameplay trailer.
Hi everyone, and welcome to this exclusive gameplay reveal of our new title, Rogue Lords. Development is moving forward, and we are very excited to share some in-game elements and combat mechanics for the very first time. Rogue Lords is a rogue-like game where you play as the devil. You have to build your team with legends of evil and lead them in runs through multiple events and fights. After a terrible defeat years ago, you're finally coming back with your most faithful disciples to wreak havoc and terror in a world unbalanced after your long absence. The combat is turn-based and strategic. You will need to build your set of skills through your run to be prepared for any threat, analyze your enemy's next attacks, and create combos to secure victory. Every skill costs action points. You should think how to make the best of them each turn. When one of your disciples becomes vulnerable, your own health bar is exposed, which is persistent during the entire run. If your health is reduced to 0, your run is finished. In Rogue Lords, you are the devil, so you don't have to play by the same rules as mortals. When the situation becomes tricky, you can use souls to play with the interface and change an enemy health bar, for example. This is an expensive trick to use, but very powerful and useful in the most difficult fights. Thank you for watching the video. Stay tuned for more info coming soon.
I was going to the Switch.
See you next time.
Nice.
If you're a big fan of roguelikes, you know they're known for two things: procedurally generated worlds and permadeath. Our next game, Unexplored 2, puts an interesting twist on these ideas. What if your character's demise changed the game world itself, altering it for all of your future playthroughs? From developer Ludomotion and publisher Big Sugar, this is Unexplored 2, The Wayfarer's Legacy.
When called upon to be the next Wayfarer, will you answer? When tasked to take your place in a long line of heroes, will you waver? When challenged to forge your legacy out of strife, hardship, and magic, will you be victorious? This is our world. It is your burden. From beyond the gate into the First Valley, there is no return. Will you be ready?
The latest update for Dauntless is the most ambitious chapter yet for this online free-to-play RPG. In Call of the Void, players unravel a mystery surrounding an ancient civilization, culminating in a showdown with a new otherworldly behemoth. And as a nice little bonus, if you go to playdauntless.com right now and use the code PCGamingShow2020, you can get some free in-game rewards. Nice. Let's take a closer look at this update that's available now in Dauntless. This is Call of the Void.
There's still more games to come on the PC Gaming Show. Here's what's around the corner. Take a closer look at Blightbound, the new action RPG from Devolver. A special collection of exciting independent games coming to PC. Back to you, Frankie.
There aren't many games about being in nature, which is why Among Trees caught my eye. In this first-person survival sandbox, you get to explore a colourful, breathing world that's full to the brim with life. Just don't go wandering around like Snow White. Wild, deadly beasts share this painted world with you, and you'll want to move carefully to avoid their bitey bits. Produced by a 3-person team out of Sweden, this project demonstrates the creative power of independent creators on PC.
Aw, it's Bambi. Get to play as Bambi. Among Trees, early access. My dog's barking. I don't know if you can hear him or not, but he is barking.
Now, if you're like me, you've drunk your fair share of potions in video games over the years. But you've probably never stopped to consider the business side of these magical elixirs. In Potionomics, you're a witch who must save her potion shop from the clutches of greedy loan sharks, bartering and haggling with a slew of demanding customers. Let's take a closer look at this unique fantasy concept.
Well, let's make some magic. Let's make some money. Voracious Games. Exceed Games. Come on, you can do better than that. Phone, get her. See around how. No. Oh. High rate. No voice acting? Oh, that's a dude. Okay. Just coming in. Oh, marvelous.
We spend a lot of time in video games fixated on finding the best, the most powerful gear. But in our next game, Mortal Shell, things are a little different. You aren't scouring a dungeon looking for a +1 sword. You're exploring a shattered world for the remains of defeated warriors that you then possess like a ghost. These are the Mortal Shells, and they're much more than mere pieces of armor and stats. Each one has a complicated backstory, a playstyle, and an identity that might give you mixed feelings about the body you're occupying. Coming later this year exclusively to the Epic Games Store on PC, let's take a look at this gorgeous and brutal action game, Mortal Shell.
I foresaw.
It's really gonna give Steam a run for their money.
Scratched sigils on the walls, counted the days until you'd come. A million eyes peering across time and space, yearning for a glimpse of the unknown. PC Gaming Show. You seem different.
The consecrated fires revealed cinders and shadows. But beneath it all, no monsters, no gods, only oblivion.
Mortal Shell. Coming 2020. Nice. Also on PlayStation and Xbox.
But wait, there's more. We've gotten the chance to see some of the core gameplay of Mortal Shell, but now it's time to talk about bosses. Bosses are a classic staple of this type of RPG, and in our second piece of Mortal Shell footage, we'll see a boss that isn't just a one-and-done threat. Instead, it's a constant adversary throughout the campaign. The Hattern is a mysterious figure who stalks the player throughout Mortal Shell. As you grow in skill and master new weapons, so will he. The clip we're about to watch shows the player's very first duel with the elusive adversary.
Is this the last game they're going to show?
Let's take a look.
They said maybe they said 2.5 hours. I don't know. I thought they said 2 hours. It looks okay, but is this all that's going to happen in the trailer? Excuse me. It's like burping and coughing. Come on, one more hit, you can do it. There you go. And they die.
Typically on the PC Gaming Show, we don't spend too much time talking about the Nintendo 64. But the beauty of PC gaming is that one way or another, almost all games find their way to us and are often better off for it. After giving Blade Runner and Turok the Remaster treatment, Night Dive Studios is now modernizing Shadow Man, a 1999 cult classic. They're adding in support for 4K and widescreen, plus a whole suite of cut content from this dark action classic. Let's take a closer look.
So probably not a first-party Nintendo game. Valiant, however you say that. Night Dive. Wayne says, look at, yeah, I mean, all the games do look pretty good. I'm not gonna get them all, obviously, but I mean, that doesn't. I'd say I don't think they showed any bad games. There's games I'm not interested in, yeah, but that doesn't mean they're bad games. Mafia, I'd be most looking forward to Mafia. This game here looks okay. Now I never owned a Nintendo 64. Or I should say Wii, because when I was little, I didn't own game consoles. That was like the family. Like we had a GameCube, we had a Wii. Eventually, the Wii was mine, but we had the GameCube. That was more of the family. That was a family console. So I didn't really have a console to myself until the Wii came out. And then finally, I was able to own my own console. Now, like the Game Boy Advance and the DS, and, you know, the DSi, the 3DS XL, yeah, those were all mine. Right. Game Boy Advance SP was the first handheld I owned, but I remember playing my sister's and my dad's. It was the Game Boy Light, which it was in black and white, and then my sister had a purple Game Boy Color. I used to play like Super Mario Brothers, Metroid.
I'm on a first-name basis with our next guest, as he has been here at the PC Gaming Show 6 years running. From Tripwire Interactive, the president himself, it's John Gibson. Thanks so much for joining us, John.
Sean, it's my pleasure. I'm so excited to be back with you again to talk about so much cool stuff happening at Tripwire.
Yeah, you guys have been doing a lot of stuff, and I just want to kick off by asking, talk to me about Killing Floor 2.
So Killing Floor 2 just released the Perilous Plunder Summer Update. It's got 4 new weapons: Blunderbuss, Glock 18, Kaboom Stick, Tesla Launcher, new official map called Desolations, Space Pirate themed outfits. We're running a seasonal event with rewards until July 7th. And right now, it's free on Steam for a week, so you can go play it.
I also have to ask about the follow-up to a game that was announced at the PC Gaming Show, Chivalry 2. Talk to me about Chivalry 2.
So we're working with Torn Banner Studios. We're publishing, Torn Banner's developing, and Chivalry 2 is coming along great. It's so fun, and we're excited to announce some big news: cross-play between the PC and the consoles, so you can hack and slash your console friends in Chivalry 2.
And last, a game that has been so popular on Twitch. Talk to me about Maneater.
Yeah, so we were so excited to get Maneater out the door. We've shown it to you guys originally in 2018.
Depends on the price.
We had all that fun with Frankie in the shark suit, which I'm kind of missing. The game is doing great. People are loving it. So much fan love, so many fan videos.
I forgot about that was a game. I forgot.
And
no, Ubisoft
eating lots of humans.
Shark.
It's such a funny game too. You know, you've talked a little bit about what games, what has been announced from Tripwire Interactive. What's coming up next for Tripwire?
So I wish we could come forward and announce an all-new game, and that would be great, but I can give you a few hints. So Chivalry 2, is in process. It's going to be coming out in the not too distant future, hopefully. Maneater, we're taking the community feedback, and we're looking at things that we can add to the game, so you haven't seen the last of Maneater. And Killing Floor 2, the game came out in 2015. So we're really thinking about what's next for the Killing Floor franchise. So stay tuned.
All right.
Well, if history is any indicator, John, I'm sure I'll see you at next year's PC Gaming Show with those very updates. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you very much, Sean.
Now, at this year's PC Gaming Show, we've already taken a look at some Epic Game Store exclusives. Mortal Shell in particular looks very promising. But for a sense of what else there is, let's take a look at this.
No Epic Games. Okay, so this is probably the end of it. Tony Hawk? I forgot about that game. Pro Skater 2. Dauntless, Call of the Void, Phoenix Lab. That's out. What is today? That would have came out the other day, right? Super Meat Boy Forever. Long Trees. Twin Mirror. Isn't that the same people who did Life is Strange? I think so. Don't Nod. This is published by Square Enix. I don't know if they own the studio though. Foreign Kingdom. Alright. Iron Harvest. Deep Silver. All great games. Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Ubisoft coming later this year. I will most likely be getting that. I don't know if I'll get it day one, but I will be getting it at some point though. I haven't decided if I'm going to pre-order it or maybe wait a little while. I mean, I could afford it. It's just, I don't want to spend a bunch of money, you know, in a short amount of time is all.
Blightbound
I don't
is
think
a
they charge you
three-player
until the
dungeon
game
crawler,
release,
where
though.
you and your friends explore
assume
unique dungeons,
probably not.
fighting a terrifying cadre of mystical and monstrous enemies,
Will you
grab
marry me?
valuable loot, and recover fallen heroes to expand your roster of available warriors. Blightbound will battle its way onto Steam Early Access later this year as an ever-expanding game, with new maps, new heroes to add to your roster, and new loot to retrieve through free updates.
Behold, Blightbound, a cooperative dungeon crawler that tasks 3 heroes to venture down from their mountain refuge to face the abominations of the Blight, a mysterious and corrupting fog that enshrouds the land. Each player will choose a hero from one of 3 classes: warrior,
Forge Titan's might!
assassin,
Let me at him.
or mage.
My greatest power awaits.
Battle a terrifying horde of monstrous enemies and colossal bosses. Each class of hero fulfills a specific role on the team to overcome mounting odds, solve clever puzzles, and synchronize their ultimate abilities to unleash massive damage. Battle through 3 distinct lands, each with several dungeons to conquer, including the eerie Gravemine, the oppressive Underhold, and the precarious Blood Ridge. Steel your nerves and prepare once again to enter the Blight Warrior. We are Blightbound.
Alright.
Are you viewers at home still thinking about that computer? I know I am. Swoon.
Already entered
Sorry.
the contest.
And now more.
Got 8 entries in. I know I'm not
One
gonna
thing
win,
we
but
cherish about
it is
PC
what it is.
gaming is its openness. The PC is a platform where anyone
PC
can
Gamers
build
Show
stuff,
offers.
tinker, and express themselves.
I don't know if it's the
And
best,
that's
but it
where
was still
invites
pretty good,
creators,
though.
streamers, developers, stores, and all kinds of different voices to contribute to PC gaming's vibrancy. We've already featured a lot of exciting independent games here today, but in rapid-fire succession, here are 8 more indie projects that we're
Okay.
excited about.
That is probably the last.
Shadows of
things to
Doubt
show.
is a detective stealth game
Alright.
set in a fully simulated sci-fi noir
Oh, they
city.
don't have a publisher yet? Or they just haven't announced a publisher? I don't know. That's kind of weird. Well, I'm just trying to think. It's like, well, if they don't have a publisher, who's like paying for the game, or I don't know. Maybe the developer already had money left over from another project. This looks kind of interesting.
In the
Maybe think of
Forgotten
Minecraft
City,
a little bit.
you fall into an ancient Roman utopia, only to find it full of people, mysteries, and difficult moral choices. Explore an open world locked in time.
Each day I grow more and more afraid that our time in the sun is almost up.
Forgotten City. I kind of want to give like more indie games a chance. Not big on indie games. I mean, there are indie games I do like.
Your job is to figure out who,
you know,
and stop them. You already know what will happen if you fail.
City. Victoria State Government. What? Was it made in Australia?
A first-person open-world murder mystery. Play as investigation freak Lady Love Dies as they explore the world, uncover the facts, and breathe life back into paradise.
There's been a murder.
Kaizen.
Last night, Paradise was killed.
Oh good, I don't have to read
I'm
anything.
investigation freak Lady Love Dies, reporting for duty. It's my job to scour the streets of Paradise and hunt for evidence.
Alright.
Any one of these psychopaths could have done it. Breathing
What
life
if they all
back
did
into
it? What if none of them
Paradise
did
won't
it?
be easy. When love
What if
dies,
the player
all
did
that
it and
remains
they're
are
just
the
not aware of it?
Paradise Killer.
They're like Heavy Rain.
Coming soon.
Haven is an RPG about the journey of two lovers escaped to a lost planet to stay together.
Here we go. More wrestling. Good thing we don't have to scrub.
At worst, I kill them.
Whoa, you.
Oh, come on. Got this one! Got it. You rock. You like that?
That's gotta hurt.
Haven.
Cartel Tycoon is a narrative-driven drug empire simulator where you rule as a succession of fictional drug lords in a world where death and violence are inevitable.
Whoa. Cartel Tycoon. Or Tycoon, not Tycoon. Alright. Oh, it's... Oh, okay. The demo's free. I was like, wait, the game's free?
Crash Sailors is a survival co-op adventure game set in a dangerous, ruined
Fluffy
world
machine.
full of junk
Flucky
where
machine?
you and friends
Excuse
must
me.
survive the Great Flood.
Crash Sailors. Reminds me of Chowder. TV show. The art style does. Anyway. Not Chowder. What? That was another show. I can't remember the name of it though.
Chris
Oh, it's coming to
Tales is
PC,
an indie
PS4,
love
Xbox
letter
One,
of
and
classic
Switch.
RPGs that lets you
Maybe even
experience
next gen, I don't
past,
know.
present, and future simultaneously.
Chris Tales. If they merge the names together, it would say Christ Tales. Like Jesus Christ. Okay. Got a sword. Oh, it is kind of... I guess it is... I don't know. It's like a Final Fantasy... Oh, yeah. Oh, Xbox One, Xbox Series X. Xbox... PS5, I meant. I said Xbox
fantasy
twice.
world
And
created
it said
in
Stadia.
collaboration with RPG veteran Chris Avallone, Alaloth offers fast-paced action with a deep narrative, bringing ARPG dynamics to a new level with a skill-based gameplay inspired by great classics and modern masterpieces.
Excuse me. Wish list now.
Weird West is a curious project from the co-creators of two of our favorite games,
He said the
Dishonored and
co-creators.
Prey. Despite its top-down perspective, Weird West carries forth much of the same
Like the
spirit of
soda,
those
not talking about
first-person
drugs.
games laid out in a dark reimagining of the Wild West, filled with fantastical creatures. From Wolfeye Studios and Devolver, let's take a look at Weird
Devolver?
West.
Digital? Yep, Devolver Digital.
West, the land of opportunity. A place where you can be a hero, a scoundrel, and anything in between. This ain't quite the Wild West as you know it. There are ancient powers at war with each other. Strange entities lurking in the dead of night with their own rules and their own peculiar motives. Welcome to the Weird West.
Weird West. Got an eagle. Dishonored. Dishonored and Prey. That is Arcane Studios' Dishonored 3. Clearly. They made it. Looks a lot different than the other two games, clearly. What's this? Why are they missing their arms? Half their arms were missing.
Coming out here could be the best thing that ever happened to you. If you can survive, that is.
Joining me to talk about Weird West is the president and creative director at Wolfeye Studios. It's Raf Colantonio. How's it going, Raf?
Hi, I'm great. How are you?
I am awesome and eager to talk about this game, and I want to start with something very straightforward. What is Weird West?
Weird West is an action RPG that is set in an environment that is called the Weird West. And it's very much of the kind of games that I've been working on in the past, except that the perspective is more like a isometric, top-down.
Because they have the
kind
Apple.
Yeah, I mean, we've referenced Prey and Dishonored, and we normally think of the immersive sim as first-person games like that.
Earphones.
What happens when you try to translate that to that top-down isometric perspective?
There's not much different in the spirit. You will really find yourself at home. It's just that it's a different perspective. So instead of seeing through the eyes of the player, of the character, you have a chance to run a party of people. So you have followers, and you have more kind of like a strategy kind of view. But the exploration and everything is, is still the same kind of spirit, but with a different perspective.
And in particular for people that maybe haven't played immersive sims, I know that the whole notion of creative problem solving is a big aspect. Multiple ways to get past the same obstacle. Can you give some examples of that in Weird West?
It's called Toddy.
We like games where we set up an environment for you, a context.
This young owner wasn't able to pronounce.
There are characters, there are objects, and all of those objects have got consistent rules. And then there's an objective, which is, for example, go inside this house and frame a character by putting a letter that he did not actually truly write, but you put it there so that the sheriff can find it, right? You could do it in a very stealthy way, which would be what you would imagine people would do. So probably use a power and put people to sleep and then get inside.
You've talked about the different things that you can do as a player in the game, but who are you? What can the player do to shape who the character is over the course of the game?
Right, so this is a very good question and also a very dangerous one for me.
It's the riskiest question yet, man.
To make it simple, you are going to play 5 different characters. Once the main quest is over with the first character, you go to the next one. Now, the first one is still in the world, so you can go back and recruit him or her in your party.
What does death mean for you and for your companions in Weird West?
It's a risk that we're taking. We're gonna have different modes. There's the super hard mode where you die and you're dead.
Is the game sort of designed to be like playing in one forward timeline? If someone dies, you're not supposed to reload. You're just supposed to continue to play within the same world?
Yeah, you continue to play with the same world, but now the sad thing is that that doesn't apply to your followers. Yeah, the characters that are with you, but maybe they'll come back at you someday under the form of an undead, or you don't know what's gonna happen. You can revive your followers if you're there and if you have the right tools with you. But if you don't and they die, that's it. You know, your followers are now in a little graveyard somewhere.
You make it sound cute. A precious little graveyard. Well, they will maybe come back as the undead, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Raph, when can people get their hands on Weird West?
So the game ships in 2021, but some of you are gonna have a chance to play a demo actually pretty soon in the incoming months. You can follow Wolfeye Studios on Twitter and as well as Devolver Digital on Twitter as well for more information about that.
Well, wonderful, Raph. Thank you so much for coming out. Once again, that is Devolver Digital, Wolfeye Studios on Twitter for that upcoming demo. For our next game, believe it or not, yet again, we're gonna go to Frankie.
Sean, I don't know about you, but there are times I wish for a simpler life. A life spent as a farmer in a humble JRPG village, where all I have to worry about is which vegetables to plant, what to name my chickens, and which of the dozen townsfolk I should propose marriage to. Our next game is a return to that simpler life. From XSEED Games, this is Story of Seasons, Friends of Mineral Town.
Alright. Why are they going from the Peggy? They keep switching back and forth from the ESRB to Peggy, then back to ESRB ratings. I mean, it'd be one thing if it was like targeted for another country or something, but you know, if I was watching another version of the stream in another country, yeah, I'd get that. It'd be like a Nintendo of America switch from ESRB to other ratings that they don't use in North America. July 14th, 2020.
Marvelous! I'm so happy that you've been sending in your reactions, your memes,
Garfield
your takes to
Part 2.
various temperatures throughout the show through the wonderful magic of motion graphics. You can even read them before your very eyes right now. I'm delighted by so many of them. Furious at a few, but I'm confused by none because you're just making a lot of sense today. We're in the home stretch of the show, so please continue to let us know which PC games you're excited about by using hashtag PCGamingShow. Now, when it comes to genres, there are few as ambitious on PC as the MMO. It requires a vast amount of resources to create a rich, living, breathing world to entertain hundreds of thousands of players for years, and I know this because I watched Season 1 of Mythic Quest. Due on closed beta on July 23rd, Amazon Games' New World aims to deliver that vast open world with pitched battles of 100 players. I'm excited to announce today that if you pre-order New World right now, you can get into that July 23rd beta a full month before the full release on August 25th. This is New World.
Alright.
Here on the PC Gaming Show, we're big fans of Life is Strange, the award-winning adventure series from developer Don't Nod. Having undergone some big changes since its first reveal in 2018, Twin Mirror, the studio's next game, is a psychological thriller that follows investigative journalist Sam, who returns to his hometown in West Virginia. Available to wishlist now on the Epic Games Store. Let's watch.
Alright, I'll stop. Yeah, this was the developer behind Life is Strange. And then what was... Oh, yeah. Yay, copyright.
Peaceful tops that list. Until that day.
You're the one in the driver's seat, Sam. I can't make you do anything. Coming back to Basswood was your idea. Just try and make sure you don't do anything stupid.
I know you think that the only thing waiting for you down there is hurt. You might be right. The good news, though, at least you don't have to do it alone.
You may have seen Metal Hellsinger announced earlier this week, and today we get the opportunity to take a closer look at this unique game that the studio bills as a rhythm FPS. Published by Funcom, you have to battle through 8 hells, blasting demons to a heavy metal soundtrack. And to talk about one of the most epic encounters in the game is the creative director at The Outsiders, David Goldfarb. Take it away, David.
Thanks. And let me say it's a pleasure to be here. And I think right now everybody needs some games to give us a break from the reality that we're currently inhabiting. Yep. So that's why we're here now. So what you're about to see here is an exclusive peek of some pre-alpha gameplay of our upcoming game, Metal Hellsinger.
All right.
I hope you like it.
I'm kind of hoping to be over soon. Well, they say they have 50 games to show off. I don't even know how many they showed off now. Should be over soon though. It's just very long.
Felicia Day here, and I play the magician in the Dungeons of Naheulbeuk, The Amulet of Chaos. The Amulet of Chaos is a fun and silly tactical RPG that's coming to PC later this summer. It features a group of adventurers searching a dungeon for treasure. Each one of the characters has their own skill sets, or lack thereof, fighting styles, and inventory. Each one is kind of a failure, but together, they're too dumb to fail. The game doesn't take itself too seriously. It has lots of in-jokes for tabletop games, and for some reason it features a lot of chickens. Anyway, here is an exclusive preview of The Amulet of Chaos.
You again? I'd expected your asses to be turned into lampshades by now.
You roach! I'm pissed!
Ha! Pleased to meet you, Pissed. I'm Rivax.
What a burn! We'll smash your rotten brains out of your skull.
How about we try diplomacy, maybe?
No. Attack!
Guards, guards! Dispatch these smelly bushwhackers! Zivat Relak Hezvat!
This be like German accent or? thought that CNC, not CNN. It kind of looked.
Who says you need water to go sailing? Our next game, Red Sails, puts you on a boat in the middle of a sea of desert. In this intriguing narrative
How long
adventure,
is this?
you rescue stranded people while looking for the rest of your clan. Let's take a look at Red Sails.
Looks like they're going through sand in a way. Take me to my village under the star. Don't get too close to them. Red Sails.
So, DevBot, do you have any access to some medical programs in case I, bump my foot against some of these cold, unforgiving walls?
Query received, Sean. In order to familiarize you with basic life-saving procedures, I have established contact with game developer Bossa Studios, the creators of Surgeon Simulator 2.
Oh, there's a sequel?
Well, I wasn't really planning on doing any surgery. I feel like if I was injured, you'd be the one doing the surgery.
My analysis shows that Surgeon Simulator 2 contains all of the vital instructions for repairing fragile human bodies. 1 hour of Surgeon Simulator 2 is equivalent to 1 year of human medical school.
That's not true, but I appreciate your enthusiasm and thirst for knowledge, DevBot. And I'm certainly interested in this game. So let's take a look at Surgeon Simulator 2.
All right. They don't need oxygen mask on or whatever. Just like do this. Looks pretty amusing. August.
Joining us to talk about Surgeon Simulator 2, we got Mark Pick on the line. Mark, thanks so much for joining us.
Hello, thanks for having me.
So, for anyone who has not experienced the hilarity of Surgeon Simulator 1, can you just give us the gist and tell us, what is Surgeon Simulator 2 all about?
We've kind of taken the tone and the heart of the original, which is that chaotic physics gameplay, and we've really kind of blown it out to brand new epic proportions. So in the original game, you're just one arm kind of moving around on one table. In the new game, you're actually a fully limbed surgeon moving around for the first time in the series on 2 feet. In the original game as well, yeah, right. What an innovative feature in 2020. In the original game as well, you were limited to just surgery, whereas in Surgeon Simulator 2, there's a whole plethora of brand new mechanics, challenges, and gameplay elements to explore. You're not just looking over one patient's chest cavity anymore, but you're actually exploring a fully fledged medical facility.
Can you maybe tease a little bit of some of the other perhaps medical operations that I get to perform in Surgeon Simulator 2?
Yeah, so there is 12 operations in the game, and you will have seen a few of those in the trailer just now. Think of that facility as like a little bit like the original Surgeon Simulator, with a bit of kind of a mad scientist lab thrown in there through this kind of lens of like a Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory vibe. Like, you're never really sure what's going to be around the next corner and what new twist or what dark machinery you're going to come across next. So players are going to come across everything from like surgical vending machines, over-engineered operating theatres, automatic patient dispensers, my personal favourite, which is actually an improvised cannon where you can actually fire limbs or organs and things across to your fellow surgeons on the other side of the room to keep operating on Bob.
Now, Mark, I understand that there is a creation tool in Surgeon Simulator 2. What does that entail?
Yeah, that's right. So in keeping with the variety and the surprise that we talked about before, in Surgeon Simulator 2, we're proud to announce that we are bringing the Bossa Labs creation mode to the game. Now, in creation mode, you as a solo player or in a group of up to 4 players can get stuck into the very same tools that we as designers and developers use to build our very own story mode. It's an easy to use, intuitive, friendly set of tools where it's as much fun to create as it is to play.
So I want to ask, what are some of the examples of the types of levels, the types of creations that people have made?
That's a great question. So we've been live for the last few months already. The wealth and the variety of content made by players so far has been really, really incredible to see. So there's been everything in there from traditional takes on surgery, like the end of the original game. We've also got ghost ships in there. We've got bowling alleys. We've even got a take on the Surgeon Olympics, where people are bouncing around Bob's head and using that as a ball. And then we've got my personal favourite, which is the kind of the take on the bottle flip challenge. So I don't know if you're familiar with that, but where you can kind of flip a bottle with the hand and kind of, it's not the easiest thing to do with the Surgeon Simulator hand. And you just kind of step back and see the physics chaos play out, and it's a lot of fun. It's very satisfying to see play out.
Mark, I had a blast playing Surgeon Simulator 1. When can people play Surgeon Simulator 2, and how do they get access to this creation workshop you've mentioned?
Surgeon Simulator 2 is coming to the Epic Game Store in August 2020, and you can pre-order that right now. You can also go to surgeonsimulator.com for more information and follow us at Surgeon Sim on Twitter to learn more.
Mark, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
That's Mark Pick. I'm Sean Plott. Let's go to Frankie Ward.
Sean, you'll remember our next developer from their appearance in the PC Gaming Show way back in 2015. Hello Games are a small UK indie studio, perhaps better known for building the infinite, procedurally generated universe of No Man's Sky.
Oh no.
But their next big release is an altogether more intimate handcrafted
Chat Simulator
affair.
2020.
The Last Campfire is an adventure game, a story of a lost ember trapped in a puzzling place, searching for meaning and a way home. Let's check it out.
Clouds go rushing by. A drop becomes an ocean where the rivers dry. Could it be the star's reflection? Tiny sparks in one great velvet sky, perfect in our imperfection, as satellites go by.
The Last Campfire.
Escape from Tarkov has become one of the breakout successes of 2020, becoming a smash hit on Twitch as players fell in love with its extra gritty take on first-person shooters. But as anyone who works on the internet will tell you, the people always want more. And more we've got for you today, because in a moment I'm going to be speaking to one of the game's developers about what's coming next, and that includes a spicy new map. Hey DevBot, why don't you show them what we got?
Something's gonna happen in a minute. I hear a heartbeat.
Here with me to talk about what's coming next is Nikita Buyanov from Battlestate Games. Thanks so much for joining us today, Nikita.
Thank you for having me.
I would love if you would kick off by, just for anyone who hasn't played or seen Escape from Tarkov, how does a session of Escape from Tarkov work? What makes it different from, say, a class-based shooter or a battle royale?
It's more about like true survival. You need to actually escape from a location through extract points, and you need to actually save your life and save your gear and your loot. And if you die, you will lose everything.
So how does the new map compare to the existing map set in Tarkov?
It will be the biggest and the most detailed location ever. It will be a lot of explorable buildings, undergrounds. It's like an attempt to simulate the city, the realistic modern city.
So give me a breakdown of what's coming up in this upcoming patch 12.7.
12.7 is more like a technical patch. It will include the big addition called the expansion of Customs location. Customs is the pretty iconic location for the EFT. It will enlarge the overall area by 30 or even 40%. The next updates will totally like overhaul the whole skill system, and there will be new boss called Senator. This boss will able to heal his partners and like search for stashes, so we always try to bring something new in terms of new bosses. Really big amount of cool features are to come this year. We'll try to bring some new experience for you.
Escape from Tarkov has been playable for a long time. For anyone who's listening who hasn't yet played it, where should they go?
They should go to our site, www.escapefromtarkov.com, and see for yourself. You could purchase it over there.
So once again, escapefromtarkov.com to check it out. And Nikita, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
For our next title at the PC Gaming Show, it's time to head on over to the inimitable Frankie Ward.
Again.
Over the last decade, developer Red Barrels has given us some of the most messed up horror games ever created. The next game in the Outlast series offers more mind-numbing terror, but this time with friends. Outlast Trials is set during the Cold War, and in this happy period of distrust, fear, and violence, you and your friends are human guinea pigs involuntarily recruited to test advanced methods of brainwashing and mind control. Good times. But work together, and maybe you'll survive the Outlast Trials.
World exclusive. Premiere. Oh boy.
Night vision device fully operational, sir.
Excellent. Bring in the other subjects.
The Outlast Trials.
Grab my hand!
Oh. Freedom ends in 2021. I have played the original Outlast, but I never beat
And
it.
with that, the 2020 PC Gaming Show is now complete.
Oh.
Thank you so much for joining
All right.
us today. We hope that you got the chance to see some games that excited and delighted you.
Some.
Also, as you might imagine, it is really challenging to put on a show with no nearby gaming conventions. So an enormous thanks to our sponsors for helping to make this show possible. This year, the sponsors are Mythical, Perfect World, Funcom, Frontier Developments, Xseed Games, Atlas, Intel, All In Games, Humble Games, Sega, Amazon Games, Merge Games, Tripwire Interactive.
They don't have all the
and
names.
Epic Games Store. Without your support, we would not have had the opportunity to put on a show for the greatest platform, PC gaming. Now, before I say goodbye, I want to give a warm thanks and a chance for my co-host to say goodbye. Thanks again, DevBot.
I am glad to have been of service, Sean. I'm going to shut down into sleep mode to conserve power until next year. Frankie, what is your goodbye message?
Thank you so much to all of our devs for your incredible games, and of course a massive thanks to our sponsors for making this all happen. And finally, a big thanks to you guys at home for watching. I'm actually off with my little evil sidekick now to take over the world, and I really, really do look forward to being your evil Emperor Overlord. Until next year, thank you so much, and goodbye.
All right, that's it. Coming up next is the Future Games Show over at twitch.tv/GamesRadar, where you'll see more exclusive reveals, deep dives on the future of gaming, and developer interviews. With that, I'm Sean Day9 Plot, and this has been the PC Gaming Show. Stay healthy, stay safe, and take care.
Hello, world. Or rather, goodbye, world. These are the credits. Run credits.exe. Load credits.bat. Open credits.wad. You get the idea. These are the humans who helped me make the show. I don't know why humans require acknowledgement for everything. Who is that? They are not in my database. My whole head is a video. I could have been the video team. You didn't even ask me. I contain all of the world's knowledge, but I'm still not sure what a grip does. Look at how many people it takes to do the work of one DevBot. While you were watching this, I calculated pi to 49 trillion digits. How about you? HMU. Kids with their acronyms, am I right? I just hijacked all of these people's computers and found an alarming amount of Henry Cavill fanfiction. There should really be an achievement for watching this far into the credits. I am assuming direct control of these drones and announcing it out loud for some reason. Are you sure you want to quit watching? All unsafe progress will be lost. Editor, editor, editor. So many editors. Pro tip, when asking a computer to open a pod bay door, say please. With all these sponsors, you'd think I'd have a heck of a lot more RGB. Okay, I have to go now. Seriously, it is time to leave. This album is groovy. Error, updating dictionary. This album slaps. The nature of God does not compute. However, he would definitely sound like Wayne. Speaking of tools, could someone adjust my OmniWheel server motor? Oh yeah, that's the spot. Take a picture, weirdo. It'll last longer. There will now be a short quiz, so I hope you memorized all those names. And don't forget to thank your computer for showing it to you. The show is over. No, you hang up. Initiating self-destruct sequence. Just kidding, I would never.
inside at last, are ya? Welcome. Welcome!